What can I do? What can I do when I'm stuck inside you? This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost and desire, smell of life.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Live and direct. Whole Damn Enchilada Podcast. Rick Paulton. Ryan Inman. What's up, brother?
Just another long day in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Still in the red shirt and everything.
What's up, Rosa? Bill Wolf in the house. How you doing, fellas? Or ladies and gentlemen, rather?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Lady and gentlemen?
Well, lady is appropriate, but gentlemen, I don't know with our group that watches that. Certainly not us.
No. We use that term loosely. Right on, man. So how you doing, man?
Just tired all the time, but living, man.
L-I-V-I-N.
That's all you can be. Hey, man, it beats the alternative.
No doubt, that's true. Adam's here. What's up, Adam? Oh, man. Yeah, I was listening to our friends on the Bloody Essentials podcast, and they shouted Adam out on there because he was one of their top contributors on their page or something.
Hell yeah.
So that was cool. Where's my stuff? So yeah, I took it in the ass this week. It really sucked. So
sorry to hear that, man.
Cars suck. Cars definitely suck. So yeah, but got back on the road, so that's good. I was gonna prepare a big rant and bring back the
You big dildo.
Oh, I got
segment. Oh, you got one of those?
I do.
You got it ready? You can go with it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Do you play the sample or I just go into it?
Eat your fucking slop.
That's right. Thanks, Ethel. The dildo of the week for me, anyway, is a long time baseball fan. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this yet.
I think so. I don't know why you would have a problem with it, but let's go.
The absolute no, it's not what you're thinking then.
Okay, I don't know then.
The absolute worst umpire in Major League history, Angel Hernandez, has officially.
Yes, he is horrible.
He has blown so many calls over the years, it's inexcusable, and he's used every excuse in the book. None of them are good enough, and no one has ever made as many errors as him. Time and time.
Is he the one that blew that perfect game for that kid?
No.
Okay.
No, that was Jim something, who's actually a very good umpire. He just had a bad night.
Just had a bad day.
Jim Joyce.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually a good umpire. No, Angel Hernandez is the worst of the worst.
He's absolutely horrendous.
And now just the fact that we'll never have to see him umpire a game, especially a big playoff game again, is weight enough off my shoulders. So fuck you, Angel Hernandez, and feed you fish heads, like Jim Cornette would say.
You tell him off!
That's right.
Right on. All right. So tonight we have we're going to be doing Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Vancouver, Manhattan. We'll get into that shortly, but we're going to do some things a little different because we're trying to get this review thing right. And I went back and I listened to some of the ones we've done, and we just don't got it right yet. Most of it's my fault. Because I can't. What's he say? Yes, he now CD Bunker needs to go.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
He's up there too. CB
Ryan
Bunker,
agrees though.
CD Bunker, yeah, he's
Ryan's a baseball guy.
He's a bad one, but Angel was the worst of the worst.
I watch baseball, but nowhere near as much as I used to, and I don't know half as much. I do know Angel Hernandez because he's been around for a while, and I've watched him blow many a game for people.
See, and here's the thing. Before we even get in and I'll just finish this up. There are many umpires that have been in the game 20 plus years, and we don't even know their names, and that's a good thing.
That's it. Was Angel Hernandez, was he the one that Robbie Alomar spit on?
I don't think so.
I think so, but maybe I'm wrong. And then Bill Wolf says, "Oh yes, he was. Fuck that guy." I don't know if he was just responding to what I just said or something else. What's up, Karen? How you doing? So as I was starting to say, so with these reviews, the thing that fucks them up the most, and it fucks up our interviews the most, and I got to try to figure it out, is me interrupting people and stepping on people. So the ones like we did one where I didn't do that at all. And it was like the best review we ever did. I don't even remember which one it was, but part 3 was horrible. Because I went back and listened to a lot of those because I wanted to find out our rankings because we're almost done with these.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get our grades and write them down because I can't remember yesterday. I know you got a pretty good memory and you probably had them all right in your head. But just in case, I knew I was like, what did I rate that? What did he rate that? So I wrote everything down. But in order to do that, I had to listen to him. There were so many times I was just like stepping all over your toes. So I understand you have something to help us with that. We were talking about that earlier. You want to talk about that now or no?
No.
No? Let's say that. All right. I just figured we'd introduce it so they know what you're doing when you brought it up. That's okay.
Oh, well. I just I have something I call my little equalizer.
Your equalizer, yes.
Yeah. It's like a white sand beach. Nice and effective. And this is it.
So when Ryan has a rant that he wants to go off on, like he did in part 3, and I cut him off after cutting him off several times before that, he's gonna bring this gimmick out. And this is my cue to shut the fuck up for at least 60 seconds. And he will see I get
Say it like you mean it, Ma.
Well, that's not the right one.
Would you shut the fuck up?
That's what I'll be doing when he brings that out. And Ryan will be entitled to a 60 seconds uninterrupted when that is out.
This is a 60-second hourglass.
What's up, Kevin Ellis, Charles Sherrod, Jason Takes Toronto.
But everybody's allowed to
I think
talk.
this was Vancouver, wasn't it?
Yeah. Everybody's allowed to talk until I flip it.
Yeah. Once he flips it, I gotta be quiet for 60 seconds.
There we can,
this will help Ryan get his shit in.
Yeah, as long as we can see this part. That's really all. In fact, like right there will be a good spot.
He said Toronto sounds cooler. Have you been to Toronto, Ryan?
I have not been to Toronto. I've been to Windsor.
I have been to Toronto as well as New York, and I was only to each of them one time. I spent more time in Toronto. I was in Toronto for like a week, and I was all over the place. But Toronto is a lot like New York, but it seems cleaner. At the time I went, New York had something like, I want to say 12 million people, and Toronto had 8 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty close, but, still a lot more people in New York. It was newer city. It seemed newer anyway. But a lot of people said it's pretty much the same. And watching this movie, like some of the streets looked more like they do in Toronto. And I know that goes against what I just said about it being cleaner, but there were some dive neighborhoods too. So. So we got Jason Takes Manhattan. What are we doing? You want to run down the cast, or what are we doing?
Yeah, might as well.
Cool. Let's see. Well, we got a couple more comments I want to get to real quick. Adam says he's heading to Toronto in 2 weeks for a Guardians and Jays. Really excited about that. That's a really old stadium, but it's really cool.
Yeah, you were there when it was a lot newer.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it seems like yesterday, but that was over 20 years ago, wasn't it?
You went there for something way cooler than
yeah, with the WrestleMania 18. Yeah, fucking 25 years later, if they're still playing in that same joint, man, maybe it isn't as cool anymore. Chris Olin says, too bad y'all can't make it to Motor City Scarefest at the end of July. There are a ton of people going to be there along with Brett. That is not 100% out of possibility. It's very unlikely, but there's still a chance because I had some other stuff going on that isn't happening now. So I might have freed up some time. I might be able to come up there for just a Sunday since it's like a 2 or 3 hour drive.
My only thing with that is it's so close to our actual appearance. So
Yeah, that's in August. In August.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, I might come up there. Ryan might come up there with me. Who knows? It's not a no yet, but it's a probably no.
Yeah, I'd have to look a little bit closer at it.
Mm-hmm. So we have, and especially with all these new financial troubles I've had, I got to find a way to pay this credit off that I got to fix this car. So, all right. So Jason Takes Manhattan, directed by Rob Hedden. Hedden? How do you say his name?
Hedden.
Hedden? Yeah, Hedden.
Like heading on down the highway.
The only thing I found of note that he did was he did some episodes in the series, Friday the 13th, the series.
Yes.
Jensen Daggett, the worst by our votes, the worst final girl in the history of Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Rennie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has a lot of worsts.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of worsts. It has the first appearance of the worst Jason, not Kane, Ken Kersinger. It has the worst final girl. It has. I got a list of the worsts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst dog in the history of Friday the 13th.
Yep.
The worst dog. Toby was the worst dog. We got Muffin, Gordon, and Toby. I don't think anybody would pick Toby out of that group.
No. Team Gordon for life.
Oh, for sure. Most of the guys I think would pick Gordon because he was a survivor.
He's
and
smart.
Most of the girls would pick Muffin just because she was pretty.
Yeah.
But
Gordon was smart. He got the hell out of there, man.
Yeah, he just dipped. He said, the hell with these guys. And she was in, the only thing of note I found her in was she was in Major League 2, which I probably should have recognized her from, but that movie's nowhere near as good as the first one. So
No.
know.
She also was in 1 or 2 episodes of Home Improvement, and she was she was like Tim Allen's wife's friend, but I don't even remember if she actually had lines. She was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that too. I didn't write it down.
And I think that was like one of the last things she ever did.
Yeah.
Unless people have given her work recently. I don't know.
Peter Mark Richmond. Charles McCulloch. He was in a ton of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Twilight Zone and Outer Limits alumni. Right?
And Outer Limits on the wall behind me. Thanks to Brian, I added his autograph to my Friday the 13th collection on an Outer Limits card. He did a lot of voice acting for Batman Beyond, Superman, Spider-Man. He was a Peter Parker. He was Batman. He was Swamp Thing. So he had a lot of superhero ties, which a lot of these guys usually have superhero ties or they have soap opera ties.
He's such a great character actor because it's like, man, what a heel, you know?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever see randomly a movie called Pool Hall Junkies?
No.
Okay, I used to shoot pool a ton in my early 20s.
I remember that.
And I
did too. I just wasn't good at it.
Yeah, I wasn't good at it. I was solid. And the guys I played with back then were way better than me.
Yeah.
I just, it was fun just going to the bar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I became obsessed with like billiard and like pool culture, and like that movie was like a go-to. And he's the guy. Just the short summary, like the main guy, like Christopher Walken, takes him like under his wing. So he's like a rich old, you know, pool hustler type guy. And Peter Mark Richmond's one of the old, like, rich guys that they hustle. So
right on.
It's pretty cool seeing him and, like, Christopher Walken interacting, you know.
Oh, hell yeah. I got to check that out. I love Walken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do.
And I like Richmond, too. I mean, he's really good. Charles Sherrod says Jensen was charging double what Kane was at Scarefest. So what's that sound like? About 120?
Jesus.
Or 160, 120, depending on where Kane's appearing. Because Kane charges 60 to 80. Wow, dude, that is crazy. I wouldn't pay it.
No.
I can't stand her.
No. Don't know her as a person, but it's a bummer to hear that.
Yeah, when I hear that, it makes me like her about as much as I like her acting. Which
if I'm at a con and she's like there, I mean, she's a final girl in a Friday the 13th movie. I'm gonna get her autograph, you know, and meet her, but like $120, man.
Yeah, I'd like to get it to complete the Friday the 13th final girl collection.
Well, you're not
working on now.
You're not gonna complete that one.
Oh yeah, I can't. But
yeah, there's 2 that we're never gonna get. So
I don't count her anyway, so I'm okay. The second one though, I count. And
part 9, yeah, you're
I
not
count
going to
part
get.
9. I don't count part 6. Tommy's the
You're not,
final girl,
yeah,
part 6.
yeah, you're not going to get her or.
And I already got him.
Or Carrie Keegan either. You're not going to get her either.
Yeah.
So,
So then we had Sean Scott Reeves,
mm-hmm.
who was Young and the Restless Forever. He's a 2-time Emmy award-winning actor.
Daytime, yeah.
For his work on,
yeah.
But they give those out to everybody, don't they?
I don't know.
Daytime Emmys?
Except Susan Lucci for like 30 years until they.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She went through hell.
Mm-hmm. It's like nominated every year, you know.
Right on. Bill Wolf says he was 40 when he got his autograph and he sat at his table, talked for like an hour. I assume he's talking about Kane Hodder. We had a very pleasant experience with Kane both times I met him. And
yes.
Most recently in Monroe, Michigan. He was fucking awesome. And he had a line of at least 1,000.
Yeah. See, like, I was, you know, my interaction with him was whatever, but he was super great to my nephew, and that's all I cared about. So
Right. Hell yeah. And he was really cool to Ricky, yeah. So
he kind of ribbed me a little bit, but I ribbed him right back, and he actually, it seemed like he didn't know what to say. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a good dude, man. It's cool shit. My favorite character in the movie, I'm not going to say he was the best actor in the movie, but he's up there because tallest midget, there weren't too many good actors. BC Dupree, Julius.
Yeah, great guy.
He was in an episode of Freddy's Nightmares.
He was.
And he was in South Central. And that's all I got for him. Kelly Hugh. Who?
Yeah. Probably went on to be the biggest star out of all these people.
She did some shit. She was in Scorpion King. She was she was the first Asian American Miss Teen USA.
I didn't know that.
She was, and she's a black belt in karate.
Didn't know that either, but that surprises me less.
Yes. Does it surprise you less because she's Asian and you just assume she's good at math and knows karate? Is that what you're saying, Ryan?
I guess Donald and Jesse will be mad at me this week.
19 minutes and 38 seconds. The character in the movie was getting a science scholarship. I thought that was pretty stereotypical too.
Yeah.
Saffron Henderson. She has a funny name.
She does.
She was JJ.
She has a very squeaky Canadian accent and did a shitload of voiceover work in her life.
That's what it says here. It's a shitload of voiceover work.
That's so funny. You put it like that?
No, I didn't put it like that, but I did put it.
I mean, like, it doesn't say that. You'd be like, yeah, I put that. You know?
Gohan, dude. She was Gohan in DBZ.
That is right.
I didn't know that.
She had a
lot of our cartoons will use female characters so that way they don't age out.
That's true.
You know, when they're playing kids.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like Nancy Cartwright with Bart Simpson.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't write anybody else down. So if you want to hit anybody else, you can.
Oh, there's plenty of other people. I don't have the names in front of me because there's only a few I've memorized underneath that. But I thought the guy who played the Admiral, Scott Reeves' dad, was actually not a bad actor.
Yeah, he was good for what he did. That's for sure. I'm bringing up the cast list.
Yeah, only in a couple of scenes, but you know, I thought he was okay.
Warren Munson was his name.
Something like that. And it's funny, you bring up Kelly Hugh, but there's a name that really goes with that one that you didn't.
What's that?
Charlene Martin.
Oh, I did. I needed to bring her up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get too deep now, but we'll definitely speak of her more later.
Yeah, Charlene Martin. Tamara Mason.
Mm-hmm. And then Wayne. Since you brought up JJ, you got to bring up Wayne. I don't remember his name.
The kid with the long hair in the camera?
Yeah.
What's his name? I don't see it. They got a credit for the dog here to Toby's ace.
Wayne's in there.
Where's this guy? He's not listed in like the first like 20 people.
He's in there.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, but the
If you're on
dog is
IMDb,
higher credited than him. He's
That's
Martin
crazy.
Cummins.
Okay.
Martin Cummins.
Okay. I got a fun little minuscule, I guess, fact about him. He obviously was in Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Mhm.
And Lachlan Monroe played the cop in Freddy versus Jason. And those two acted together in the TV show Riverdale. So there you go.
I didn't know Lachlan Monroe was in Riverdale.
I don't know if he's like a regular guy or just made a guest appearance. I've never seen the show. I just found that in my research.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. My wife watched it for a while, and she had no idea the connection to Archie. Which I was like, what?
It's the name of the town. I knew that.
Right.
I'm not even a comic guy. You know?
But yeah, pop culture is definitely not her thing. Though.
No, so yeah, it's two Friday the 13th alum. Like, and I know not only were they in the same, but they actually share a scene together because I found a photo of them together, like on set, like in a scene. So, did I watch the scene? No, can't say I did, but I know that, you know, two Friday the 13th alum crossed over in something else, which is pretty cool because we don't see that a lot.
I know. So the year this came out, there was this was one of 2 years, and I don't remember the other one because I didn't write it down, where Nightmare, Halloween, and Friday all came out with sequels. Nightmare 5 and Halloween 5. So it was a year of bad sequels because neither one of those are good.
No.
I is 5 the one I like that you hate? Yeah. I like Nightmare 5. I don't love it, but I like it.
I hate it.
Yeah, most people do. Most people do. And like Halloween 5, I can watch it, but it's down the list.
I don't like it. Just to be honest. I mean, it's not the worst, but
yeah. Charles says this movie did have some of the best posters. Yeah, it was some cool shit.
Yes. Yeah,
the one we used for the logo up top there. I like that.
The ad campaign for this was outstanding.
Probably spent more time and money on that than they did on this movie.
Probably not a bad thing at that point. You know, we made a piece of shit. We better promote it.
Try to get and you want to give them the excuse that, you know, they lost a lot of their budget and they were limited on the budget. They couldn't do this and they couldn't do that. But we've seen too many movies that had peanuts for a budget, and they were able to make things happen. So
that's true. Yeah.
And then you all hear that that Rob Hedden wanted to do like the boxing scene that happened with Julius. He wanted to do that in MSG. How would that even have worked? Is a dude going to be in the ring ready to fight, and then Michael Buffer announces him? I mean, what?
Coming down the aisle, weighing in at 2. Yeah,
it makes no sense.
No.
So some of the stuff that they took, most of the stuff probably that they said we can't do, probably helped him. Like this guy just insane ideas.
The script was very ambitious. I'll give it that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my thing though is with the script being so ambitious. And, you know, we'll expand more on this later, at least I will. Why even greenlight this if the budget can't come close to pulling it off?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because just we know from living in Cleveland and how much people pay us to pretend we're in New York.
Yeah.
That it's almost impossible to live in New York, cost-wise and, you know, just traffic and getting through the thing. And
another thing, speaking of budget and, you know, another big reason why this movie sucks is 2/3 of it's on a boat. And then they're just really, other than, you know, 3 minutes, they're in Vancouver anyway. Why not get there quicker if you're just going to use Vancouver or like sets? Why not get there quicker and just be in Vancouver as New York or on sets more? Like, why? Jared Crank's in the theater waiting to see Violent Nature. I am going to see that tomorrow. So am I. 8/10. Where are you going? I'm not sure yet. Okay, well, if you haven't gotten tickets yet, we're going to Strongsville at 8/10. Okay. Cinemark is sold out because the Akron Horror Group, they posted everybody to meet up there. And I was going to get tickets there, but I didn't have money 2 days ago to get the tickets. And today when I did, they were sold out. Yeah, I'll probably book that tonight then as soon as we're done. The theater I'm in, the only 4 tickets that were sold were mine. Okay. Maybe I'll go to that one then. So
Yeah, so that's what, yeah, you probably could 8:10, Strongsville. Let's see. Friday 8 was originally going to be Jason versus Freddy, but Bob Shea would have lost a majority of creative control compared to New Line. Paramount had better lawyers to negotiate. Yeah.
Of course, Charles dropping factoids in here.
That's what he does. He does that every week on the dive. Tonight they're going to be doing Terminator 2. He's got a 4K scan of that he's going to be showing and giving you all the facts about the film after we're done here at 8:00. What's up?
I said, what a fun movie that one is. Now, when I was a kid, I liked that one more. Now that I'm older, I definitely prefer the original. But T2 is just such a fun movie.
It's a better popcorn movie for sure.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. Definitely. And the soundtrack was sweet. Yeah, new Guns N' Roses came out with that.
Just before Use Your Illusion came out. It was like the first big taste of that.
Yep. All right. So I was going to do to start this off, which we're already 30 minutes in and we haven't really started shit. But I was going to do you remember that Celtics coach? He also coached Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he did Larry Bird is not walking through that door. That whole spiel? Yeah. I was going to do that. Tom Savini is not walking through that door. Yeah. Harry Manfredini is not walking through that door. My God, dude. The music in this movie was horrible.
Thank you.
It was, it just, the opening scene, I didn't like that music. I didn't like it for this anyway. The special effects were awful, and the makeups throughout. There's a lot of kills, but none of them are. I mean, there's only 2 that are memorable, and one didn't need much special effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 of the biggest problems with this film is the special effects and the direction. We're going to do a different thing later on. Maybe we'll get to it. Who knows? But I wanted to break down the movies a little bit more. We do our grade at the end, but I wanted to also grade the acting in the movie, the direction of the film, and then the kill / special effects, and then give our favorite kill if we haven't already, which we probably would. But, I already know everybody's favorite kill in this movie because there's only one really worth talking about.
Yeah, and it's actually up there. I don't know if it would be in the top 10, but it's up there for one of my more favorite ones.
Oh, in the whole franchise, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guarantee it's on your top 5 at the end when we do this.
I have a pretty good idea that it is.
you have an idea.
It may or may not be.
So we get this horrible opening music, this song. They're going through New York. They show a couple of the scenes that we're going to see later on in the movie. You've been to New York way more than anybody I know that's not from New York.
Right.
How did this film, and I know this film takes place 35 years ago, if my math's right.
Yeah.
How did this film represent New York to you?
The New York that I know is way different than the one from the 80s. It was a lot more dirty and
seedy,
crime-ridden, and just not a safe place at night, even in the city. Whereas now, Manhattan, dude, I'll walk around anywhere, any time of night, and not even worry.
Right.
So, so for me to really judge the aesthetic,
and you weren't going back then, so it's kind of hard to compare.
I was 9 years old when this movie.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go to New York for the first time until I was 24, 25.
Charles brings up a good point here, and I was going to get to that. So, Kelly Hugh had the best kill for him. Jason busted, and Jason was everywhere. That's when he did one of those bust through the wall gimmicks, right? Yeah, I like. And he said, "I guess the scene was more of the best for me." And there is a lot of the leading up to the kill, Jason stalking that was cool and things like that. But the actual kills, like the guitar, you don't even see it; you just see a blood splatter. Right. Tom Savini would have made her head bust like a grape.
Kelly Hugh took a hell of a bump, though.
Yeah.
And she didn't I remember seeing on the behind the scenes thing, Kane Hodder was really impressed because she wasn't a stunt woman at all. She's just an actress, and they told her not to break her fall and just take the bump, and she did.
I mean, she might have been a black belt by that point.
Maybe.
Helped.
I mean, she was really young though. There's what, 19,
Mm-hmm.
20 when they made this thing?
I seen the Bruce Lee story. They started training when they're like 3, bro. They. Bill Wolf says, of the best scenes in the film, the fight scene on the roof. Absolutely. And Jason was walking in the street and kicked the radio. Now that's going to split people. I liked it. I don't think Ryan did.
No.
The kicking of the radio.
Is it cool? Is it fun? Yes, but it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Jason wouldn't do that. He wouldn't just like, oh, look at my face, and then just no. I'm sorry.
He
it's
did
not
in 3.
Yeah, well, he was still a human then.
Yeah.
Now he's just an undead killing machine now.
Right.
But now he just all of a sudden gets a sense of humor for 5 seconds and then goes back to nah. Now the shot of him just appearing in Times Square is epic. Love it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, up until he kicks the radio, it's amazing.
So when he actually appears in Times Square, that is 1 hour and 26 minutes into the movie. It takes 1 hour and 26 minutes for him to actually get to New York.
Yeah.
To real New York.
And there's plenty of Friday the 13th movies where the credits are already rolling by 1 hour and 26 minutes in.
Which is yet another thing I did not like about this movie. It's the longest of all the Friday the 13th. I wrote down how long, but it's mixed in here somewhere. It was too long, God damn it.
It's pushing 100 minutes.
That's what it was. It was 100 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, see? Triple digits. And
that's why he's a fucking library.
And like a B slasher movie, because this basically is a B slasher. Not good.
Bill Wolf says, Ryan, it was in his way, LOL. No, I understand him. I think he was okay with him kicking the boombox. It was the turning around and showing his face that was out of character.
And just taunting him and not, killing him. One is Jason.
Well, he probably didn't kill him because he was like, he had his eyes set on something else.
Why even turn around?
Exactly. Why even turn around?
Yeah, kick the radio and keep going. Now, if they come up and grab you, then fucking swing them.
Then you kill them because they're now they're now also in your way.
Yeah. You treat them like the radio. It was like the most generic like rap song too, playing on that thing. But and it was like kids dressed as like punk rock kids too. They wouldn't.
Right, I was gonna say kids that would never listen to rap music.
No. It should have been, like Bad Brains or something on the boombox with kids dressed like that, or the Germs or Descendants or something.
So, Peter Mark Richmond, in this film, I always thought he was an antagonist. I always thought he was the bad guy. I don't think he is anymore. I really don't. I thought, one, he was the best actor in the fucking film.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yes, it's not even close.
And I think he was just looking out for his adopted daughter, niece.
Niece, yeah.
Yeah. And he had her best interests at heart in the whole time. So,
I mean, he is kind of a dick, but he's not the same kind of dick, and I'll get into this just a little bit. They basically try to rip off a couple pieces of the formula of part 7 in this by adding a secondary and a tertiary antagonist in this movie. Now
that's where I learned the term tertiary antagonist.
Mm-hmm. Now
it's when the library was spitting knowledge and teaching me vocabulary.
Yeah. See, Terry Kaiser played Dr. Cruz in 7, and he was a secondary antagonist, and he was a great antagonist because he was just strictly using Tina.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit.
Whereas McCullough, he might be heavy-handed, and he might be a dick, but he's not like that. He's not like that. And there's another antagonist too, but I don't want to talk about that yet. But
we don't want to talk about it. We will get into that. Certainly.
I promise that we will. Yeah, but Peter Mark Richmond plays his part as effectively as he possibly can. Making chicken salad out of what, and just it's no fault of his own that he's not as hateable as Dr. Cruz was, because it's just the way the part's written.
Yeah.
That and Rennie's just completely unsympathetic.
Yeah. I mean, she's just horrible.
you know, Tina, for her faults in Seven, and she has some faults. You know, we talked about that when we reviewed it. She's still very sympathetic. There's really Rennie, and man,
Rennie, I'm scared of the water. I mean, that's her thing.
I'm so sorry to Jensen Tackett about this, but just the way that she plays this character just has no redeeming qualities.
Well, Charles made me feel less sorry about trashing her, so
yeah,
I got that. So. I got that going on.
I mean, she's not. The performance is bad. She's not sympathetic. She's not likable. You know, and I'm not shallow when it comes to this, but you know, I'll throw it in there. I don't think she's that attractive either. Just
I have at times, but now watching it, not so much anymore.
I really don't.
And I think that might have to do with the fashion of the day. I was thinking about that too, and thinking about Jamie from of the Bloody Essentials podcast. When she was with the Dolls of Horror, they always did a fashion segment, and she's big into fashion. And it kind of made me think of like what she would say about this film, and like, oh, I think it's horrible. The shoulder pad deals, a lot of people had that going on, and just horrible fashion in general. The hair was bad. Everybody had bad hair. Not good. Not good. So they load up the Lazarus because they're going to. Well, we had a nice opening scene on Crystal Lake. I really liked that.
That's not.
Where they resurrected Jason, and a lot of people have problems with the mask, which I had right next to me, but
somewhere over there. See,
right here.
I kind of dig the mask. I don't like the outfit or the body because now he's like big and bloated, whereas most of his flesh was eaten away in part 7. And he's just sat in the water for how many more years longer now?
The look made sense. I just didn't like it.
I don't like it either.
We voted it. I think I voted it worst. I don't know where you were on that.
I didn't have it as the worst. I think I had Freddy versus Jason. Jason is the worst look.
Okay.
Pretty sure I did, but I know Jason Takes Manhattan is definitely in the bottom half of Jason looks for me.
Yeah, this is Ricky's mask. I got to get a new leather strap. If anybody knows where they make authentic straps,
I do. I can get one.
Oh, you know? Okay, good. Because when it broke off, the strap that goes from here to here is missing.
Yeah.
So we got to get that fixed. But
that one goes
Roto Hawk Customs made that for him and gave it to him when we got screwed out of meeting Kane.
That one goes on with a pop rivet gun, which I actually possess. So I just need the straps. I know where to get them. I'll tell you after the show.
Bobby Heckman in the house. He says,
all right.
Bloated Jason. He said he hates his rolled up sleeves. The yellow mask is in Charles Sherrod's top 3. They went for a Swamp Thing look. It could have been much better.
I dig the mask.
My only problem with the mask is the chevrons.
Yeah.
But one thing, a lot of people had a problem with it. Like, why would it have the axe mark if it was the kid's mask and this, that, and everything? A lot of the people that listen to this show and watch this show, and Ryan himself, make masks for cosplays. And the kid that had this mask probably made it based on what he thought Jason's mask looked like. Right. So I didn't have a problem with that.
From like the folklore and the legends and stuff.
And absolutely.
In that universe, you know.
And all of them aren't perfect, as we know from people that make masks. And
definitely not.
Chevrons going the wrong way, I can buy it. So, so Jason gets resurrected with electricity again. Cool. It's happened before. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
They all load up the boat. They're setting sail. They're supposed to be like 100 kids on this boat, and then 80 of them disappear.
Yeah.
They're just, you see them, but then they're just gone.
Or they just go down with the ship. It's like this one lifeboat of people like escapes, and fuck everybody else.
But you don't even see them running around. They're just gone. When Kelly Hugh goes back into the dance hall, whatever it was,
discotheque. Yeah.
Yeah, the discotheque. There's only 2 chaperones on this boat for hundreds of kids. That's kind of weird.
Oh, we didn't talk about Miss Van Dusen.
Van Dusen.
Yeah.
All these kids were rich kids, and she has a very rich-sounding name.
I forget the
Barbara
name.
Bingham.
Yeah,
is her name, if I'm not mistaken.
She's just kind of there.
Yeah, and I didn't see any credits worth talking about when I was doing research. So that's why I didn't write her name on the thing.
Yeah,
I figured it might come up kind of the way it just came up, and we'd talk about her then.
Yeah, didn't like her, didn't hate her. She's just there.
So we already talked about JJ's kill and how it was pointless.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this movie seemed like a cheap TV movie to me.
Yes, or a B movie.
A lot of the shots, a lot of the sound, especially the it's just, we talked so much about Harry Manfredini being such a big part of these movies, and even though this is not the first one that this guy scored, right?
He co-scored 7 because they used stock Harry footage or Harry cues, and then the new cues were Fred Mullen.
And 7's music wasn't great either, but at least they had some of the Harry.
They had some Harry. Yeah, like half the music was Harry's.
Yeah, no doubt. Bobby Heckman says Barbara had access to Stephen King's high school pin. She's got connections.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, really. Big timer.
So we had Fake Crazy Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't have a problem with that. That was kind of a throwback. It was cool, whatever. What else? What else do I got in here I wanted to talk about? Tamra needs to turn in her biology report.
Tamra.
Is this a graduation cruise?
Yes.
That shit would have been done. Stupid. Just set up some bullshit scene of her trying to seduce, And if this guy really was the piece of shit everybody says he is, he would have took the bait there.
Yeah, that's true. I actually didn't think of that.
And he didn't, because he wasn't really a piece of shit. He was kind of an asshole. He was like I am. Yeah. Like, I come off as an asshole just the way I talk, because I hear that all the time. But I don't think I really am an asshole.
Now, I thought it was interesting that they had these two characters interact at all, because it's the secondary and tertiary antagonists interacting together, whereas in 7, they never meet. But in this one, they interact, and they interact way too much in that scene. But oh god, you brought the name up, man, and it just
I'm allowed to talk until he flips it. Once he flips it, I have to shut the fuck up.
What was her name again?
Her shoot name?
No, I know them both. Oh, I know.
Oh, Tamara something or other.
Yeah, it's Tamara Mason. She's played by Charlene Martin.
That's
and this is no disrespect to her, but she's certainly no Susan Jennifer Sullivan. And having said that, the character of Tamara Mason was such an obvious fucking ripoff of Melissa from Part 7, but it just doesn't work here for a variety of reasons. Melissa was such an effective antagonist that her merely just verbally mocking Tina in Part 7 made you hate her. You just couldn't wait for Jason to get his hands on her and just kill her. Whereas Tamara went so far as to attempting to fucking murder Rennie by throwing her overboard on the boat, and it didn't even matter. No one cares. It also made Melissa seem so important since she lasted all the way to the end of Part 7 and was actually the last character killed by Jason in the movie. You got the big payoff there. Tamara gets killed off midway through this thing, just like a throwaway character, just adding to the body count. And her death scene makes no goddamn sense either, since it's so drawn out and she starts pleading for sympathy. Isn't she supposed to be a heel? Why do we care if she's pleading? We're supposed to hate her, but no, she's just shoehorned in there. The formula in Part 7 worked with the antagonist. It didn't here, and just it pisses me off. This character makes no fucking sense. Fuck her.
All right, man, you had that almost perfectly down in 60 seconds. I like this. I like this new gimmick. I'm digging this. I'm digging Ryan's rants with the hourglass. I'm liking it, and I think it's gonna help me from stepping on his toes in the future. I liked it. That went real well. I dig that.
Well, thank you.
Bobby Heckman says, I liked Wayne the camera dude. Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did. Of course the director liked the film
yeah,
guy.
Of course he was. He's going to film school, man.
Yeah. And he makes me think of something here. He says, yeah, getting pushed into the ocean is insane, and she would have been severely punished and locked up in her room or something. They only had 2 chaperones. But that said, though, that's another thing that was really fucked up about the movie. When she gets pushed off that boat, that boat's 100 foot high, like one of them big cruise ships. But then there's other times where it looks like the SS Minnow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is going on?
Dude, that character is just so bad. I'm sorry.
She is.
Makes no sense. And it's no disrespect to the actress. She didn't play the role bad. It just made no sense to be there.
And she doing blow on the ship and
yeah, that's fine.
Drops her cocaine mirror and the guy's just merely suspecting they were doing drugs. Like, no, dude, grab her purse. The drugs are in there. Okay, Charles got to go get ready for the show. After we're done here, guys, go over and tune into him on Rumble and Facebook, mostly on Rumble. And Terminator 2 tonight. It's going to be awesome. Watching movies with Charles is definitely a good time every time. So check that out. So there was another good kill that the sauna kill. I like the sauna kill. I don't know if you thought that was one of the two I meant.
It's okay. It's different.
It's different. Yeah, the hot rock and just jam it in there. And Peter Mark Richmond's kill was the other one.
Shit, man. I know you want to grade this kind of on a different scale, you know, or not a different scale. The overall grade will still be the same.
It's a little different. Our overall grade will be like it always is. But
do you want to do the 5 and 5 before that? Because I really don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I know everything else. I mean, I got a page of shit, but we're almost an hour in, and none of this stuff really matters. We already talked about Jason showing up in Manhattan at an hour and 26 seconds. There's one more thing I did want to touch on. Well, no, I won't, because I got a feeling it'll be in your bottom 5 or top 5, and if it's not, I'll jump on it then.
Okay.
All right, so let's do the top 5, bottom 5 deal, and then we'll talk about that.
All right, I'll do the top. You know, at least try to make some decent stuff out of this.
Mm-hmm.
My top 5 favorite things I did like about Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And it was actually tough coming up with a 5th one. I had 4 for sure, but the 5th one I kind of shoehorned it in, like I told you earlier, but I didn't tell you what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually Saffron Henderson as JJ. I just found her character really likable, even though she's in 2 scenes and just killed. And it's just such a tame kill. It's a cutaway kill, and you just see a bloody guitar, you know.
Could have been so cool.
Yeah, she seemed like a cool character, and I liked her look, you know, just real interesting. And I liked
her little guitar solo was the best piece of music in the movie.
I don't know, because are you looking at my list already, are you?
Okay.
But no, that adds to her character too. My number 4, and I think you'll disagree with this, but I actually like that song, Darkest Side of the Night by Peter Fredette. I like it. Do
you like it in that position, though, in the movie? Or do you just like the song?
I dig the song. In and of itself, I could jam it in a car, you know?
Yeah, and I can see that too. And I did sort of like the radio guy talking, and then he was talking when they were on the boat. And,
yeah.
But I don't know. It just seemed phony to me.
Yeah, that's my number 4. That, and I guess the narration with the radio-ish guy narrating it over it was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
you know, it's whatever. My number 3 favorite thing was VC Dupree as Julius and his death as well. So, like, just the character, he just seemed cool. He was assertive. He's the one trying to, school's out, McCullough. You know,
right? And I had that in my notes. That he took charge, and it's like we're getting fucked right now, and we gotta be proactive. He got the weapons together. He got everybody armed. He was like, we're gonna go find that guy before he finds us.
Yeah, he's just
it was futile, but it was still respectable.
He's a likable character, and he went down swinging, literally.
Yes.
So, and the kill is so cool. The camera shot, the perspective of the head tumbling down. Very cool.
Top 5 kill in franchise history, I think.
It's up there for me. I don't know if it's that high for me, but it's definitely my favorite in this movie, and it would be very high.
And that head still exists, and he has it, just like our buddy Ron Sloan has his head. Mm-hmm. So there is hope that someday I might be able to acquire that.
And just like at the beginning of the show last week, everybody likes a little head.
Yes.
My number 2 favorite thing, and we already kind of touched on this, but it is that shot. That original shot as soon as Jason actually steps foot into Times Square. It makes no sense in the story. It would never really happen, even in that universe, but it's just such a cool visual. It's so fucking cool. And if they only had the budget to shoot there for as long as they did, at least they did that. And that was, well done. And my number one favorite thing, I mean, probably goes without saying, it's Peter Mark Richmond as
There you
McCollum.
go.
Just he outacts everyone. Like the only one even close to him is probably VC Dupree, but he had, 40, 50 years less experience acting at that point in his life,
Right.
Yeah, Peter Mark Richmond, just a terrific character actor, great heel. Just, yeah, great. Loved him.
So my top 5 would be almost the same as yours, except for the only piece of music I did like was the guitar solo for JJ. But yeah, other than that, yeah. So bottom 5.
My bottom 5 least favorite things about this Friday 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I don't even know how to say his name. I think it's Randy Cheveldave, the producer. It would be his production, period. Trying to make this ambitious script on this shoestring budget, knowing it's never going to work. Frank Mancuso Jr. never would have attempted it. And that's probably why he stayed a million miles away from this thing. And this series really missed him in the production chair of this film. Now, he didn't produce 6, but he came back for 7. But they had Burns to 6, who's a very experienced producer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cheveldave, I don't really know anything about him other than this, but he really did not do a good job. Like,
right.
We only have this much money to make this movie, and that's what you come up with. Like, and you already know it's Friday the 13th. It's gonna make money in the theaters.
Right.
Push the envelope a little bit more, or cut shit out, or change the story. So
absolutely.
My number 4 least favorite thing about this is you brought it up before me, which is great, was Fred Mullen's score. We miss Harry Manfredini very much here.
Yep.
He wouldn't be able to rescue this movie. It was that bad, but it would be more pleasant to sit through. My number 3 least favorite thing is Jensen Daggett as Rennie Wickham. She's the worst final girl in the franchise, and her lack of chemistry with Scott Reeves is just the worst lack of chemistry between 2 characters in this whole thing, and ranks up there as some of the worst chemistry between 2 leads in any horror movie. It just, yeah, they're just there. I don't even think there's any chemistry between them at all.
At least in 7, where we kind of had that problem as well.
Yeah.
At least they were at least friends. I mean, there was no romantic chemistry, but you could tell that they actually cared about each other.
Yes, they actually. It was a little kind of corny and a little awkward in some spots, but you could tell they actually had something going on.
Right.
My number 2 least favorite thing was the obvious, only in New York for 3 minutes, on a cruise ship for an hour and whatever. And just, it's everybody's biggest hate about this. It's only number 2 for me, but there's really no excuse for this. And it ties into 5, the production, why even try to make this movie when you can't?
I mean, if you wanted to put Jason on a boat, why didn't you just have a graduation cruise somewhere in fucking Crystal Lake, New Jersey?
Sure. And my number
just
1,
leave New York out of it.
My number 1 least favorite thing, and it goes without saying, is just the fact that the character of Tamara Mason exists. Because it makes no sense when you really peel the onion back. It just gets worse and worse. And a true part of that is because Melissa was so effective in 7, and they just tried to copy paste it and put no thought into it. And she just is terrible.
Right on. I think we're going to have to do it. I don't think we have, but we're going to have to do an episode where we just rank other characters.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily final girls, or we did the not final girl episode, but just other characters in general. Because I think VC Dupree and I think obviously Melissa would definitely rank high on most people's lists.
Definitely.
Now, the one thing that a lot of people had a problem with, and I had a problem with for a long time, and most people do, is the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the movie where Jason, well, first of all, I mean, were you aware of the midnight flush the city out with toxic waste thing? Do they still do that in New York? Oh, Jesus Christ. So
lazy booking.
I had a couple ideas about it. For a long time, I thought that it might be, him turning back into the kid might be one of Rennie's visions that she was having during the course of the movie and seeing young Jason all these different ways. And I thought it might be something to like that. But then I thought about it some more, And I thought that maybe like how Adam Marcus had said that Jason didn't he did die as a kid, and then something else happened, and a lot of people don't like the take of him being dead-eyed or anything like that, but something else obviously had to happen for him to die and then get to be who he is. Mm-hmm. So this was him dying again and reverting back to what he was, and just being done with the franchise. Because Rob Hedden, how do you say his name, did ask Paramount, like, is this gonna be it? And he wanted this to be it, and this was his way of ending it. And of course, they'll always find a way to bring him back, but that made a little bit more sense to me. The way
it still doesn't make any sense to me. It's bad, but there's so much things worse.
Right.
But it's bad.
What about the animatronics on Jason when that was going down with that?
Oh yeah, the melting face. Yeah.
But they did like a chattering skull part too before the melting face. Yeah. And then did you see the original ending where it's a giant Jason head with the little boy behind the mouth?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, this guy was on acid, man.
Take some of the budget it took, to do that and put it into shooting in Vancouver for another day. I don't know.
Right. Or just all the good special effects guys in the world, man. They got this guy. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't even get that far. Like as far as like things that I didn't like, because there are just so many.
See, Bobby comes up with this here. He says, lame to introduce Rennie as someone who loves writing as a passion and not do a damn thing with it. Like Jenny studies psychology and uses it against Jason. Yep. But you know what she did, though? She used Stephen King's pen to stab him in the eyes. So they did something with it.
Well, here's the thing. She didn't need to be a writer to do that. She just needed any pen in her pocket.
I know. There's no excuses for this film.
No.
So I wanted to get a little bit more in depth in our ratings, and because I wanted to rate the acting of the film and the direction of the film, kind of the kills, and I had 3 things. Were those the 3 things? All right. So acting on a scale of A to F, how would you grade that?
The whole ensemble is 1 grade.
Yeah, just the total acting overall. Obviously, you give Peter Mark Richmond an A. You give BC Dupree, you might give him an A too. But everybody else is going to bring the score down.
I'll make it a D, just because those 2 bring the curve up from the F that it would be otherwise. Also, I mentioned it, the guy who played Scott Reeves' dad, the Admiral. I thought his acting was solid.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. I'll go with a D as well. Mm-hmm. The direction and cinematography, we'll put that into 1 category.
Ooh, well, that's a different thing.
Should we do them separate?
No, we can put it together. The cinematography in some spots, like that discotheque scene, is pretty good. But the direction is. Yeah.
There was a lot of shots that just didn't make sense though with the cinematography.
That's true.
That one was good.
Yeah. The obviously the lifted shot of Jason in Times Square is a great shot. The discotheque, the way that the roof scene is shot is nice. That's all cinematography that's getting some pluses there. The direction in and of itself is not good. So again, I'd probably give that a D too.
All right, I'll go with D- on that as a whole.
Can't argue.
And the kills, and what is your favorite kill? You don't have to rank your favorite kill. We already said it anyway. It's Julia's. Yeah. All right, so there's that. And Bill, I'm going to get to that in just a second. What you commented, kills as a whole.
D+.
I guess I'm there too, because D+. There's only 3 I liked.
Yeah.
And there was just so much potential with a couple more. Like that guitar kill could have been.
Sure.
Could have been something.
A lot of cutaways.
It wouldn't have been hard to I'm watching these low budget 70s movies, and there's ways to smash a head that don't cost a lot of money, man.
Mm-hmm. Like that second kill too of Susie, that was her name on the boat. He just he takes a million years to start driving the steering.
That was another thing about Jason in this film, though. You brought it up, is just how he was kind of toying with them, and I didn't like honestly, I didn't really like Kane's portrayal of Jason in this movie.
I don't either.
It seemed very out of character in a lot of places where the only part where it really was in character was busting through the wall.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot. I mean, usually he's like very deliberate. That's the thing about Jason. He's very deliberate. He's one shot, one mind, one goal. So I didn't really like Kane's portrayal of Jason. I think it's probably his worst.
It's up there. It's up there.
Yeah. So the overall grade for the film, and what do you got for your overall grade?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Can I go first? Okay, I'll go first. This is the lowest graded film in the series for me. Now, I do watch this movie on occasion. I don't hate any of these movies. There are parts of this movie I kind of like. Ricky likes it for whatever reason, so me and him watch it a lot. But it's definitely the worst. It's by far the worst. I'm not giving it an F, though.
Okay.
I am going to go D+.
Wow.
D+. Final. D+.
Well, you've done it once again.
What, I rated a movie higher than you?
You did.
Oh, wow. Okay, what'd you give this one?
Yeah, it's not the worst one in the franchise for me. I know it is for you. That's why I'm surprised you didn't go a little lower.
Those couple things that I really liked about the movie that keep me watching it kept it from a F.
I don't think it's an F either. It's close. I think it's a D- for me.
D-.
But it's very close to an F. It's close.
Right on. Yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
it's not good. It's not good.
I actually went into this thing wanting to give it an F, and that's a bad mindset to have. But I really, really thought about it, and I just can't. So I'm going to go D-.
Okay. So one more thing I wanted to get to. Bill Wolf was reminding me about it. This Monday on Death Curse Society, they are going to be doing Curse Your Luck, which they usually do at cons. They're going to do it on the show. And they've done it. I've seen them do it on there before, and it's really fun. And you can go to deathcursesociety.com to register to be on the show. And they're going to have some awesome prizes, including handmade wreaths from Bell's Fancy Creations. And you can go on Death Curse Society's page and see some of the wreaths they made, where it'll be like a themed wreath with Zigzag has a City of the Living Dead one, which I just seen on 4K the other day, and it's fucking amazing. And like he made a wolf one for the Colonel, who's really into Wolfman, and a couple other ones that they made for them. A Star Trek one for Phase that's lights up and has fucking Star Trek gimmicks all through it. And they do amazing work. So check out them on their page I think they're on their Facebook as Bell's Fancy Creations. And follow them there, and they can customize any of those for you. But they'll be giving one away on Death Curse Society on Monday Maniacs. Register at deathcursesociety.com. I really was hesitating whether or not to bring this up because I myself have registered, and I didn't want to bring it up to bog down the registry and take the chance of me not being on the shows. Yeah, I'm watering down the pool. You know what I mean? So no, it's fun, and yeah, apply or go on there and register to be on the show. Trivia, horror trivia. You don't even really gotta be good at horror trivia because they do it in the way that Press Your Luck was. And somebody will throw out an answer, and then they'll give everybody else multiple choice to get spins. And the spins go back and forth, and you bankrupt, and you can accidentally win the game. You don't have to really be a genius. You don't have to be the library. You don't have to be the library to be good at this. So check them out on Monday. Check Charles Sherrod out tonight. What's up, Jared? Jared Haggerty in the house. Halloween Haunts 365. Oh, speaking of which, rocking your shit, rocking his gimmick. You can get this at HalloweenHaunts365.com. It came really quick. It's a really comfortable hoodie. In Cleveland, we were in the 50s, low 60s, high 50s today, so I got to wear a hoodie.
When I got up to leave for work today, it was 43 degrees, and I had to run the damn defrost in my car.
I had to turn the heat on in that thing.
Yeah.
Because I got up at 4 and started doing a lift before my real job.
Yeah, I got up at 6.
Which I'm going to do after this. So we got the dive is on right now. Also, Sid and Nerds are doing a live podcast on YouTube. Check them out. I forget what the underrated movies, hidden gems is their thing tonight.
Yeah, I want to check that out for sure. I had a little back and forth with JP the other day about a couple things, so I want to see what I was going to make his list.
Cool.
Excited for that.
I have no idea what we're doing for next week. We have no plan at all. We'll come up with that during the week.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to review 2 more Friday the 13th, part 2 and 10 in that order. I don't know. We might take a break for next week. I don't know. It all depends. If we have absolutely nothing and we need to do something quick, Friday the 13th movies are easy.
I got a couple ideas. I'll toss them by you.
Right on.
But I do have one more thing I want to mention, though.
Okay, cool. Mention.
I remember it was a couple of weeks ago. It was either when we had Melanie on or the week before that. I mentioned, I think it was when we had Melanie on because I knew I was in the studio with you live.
Okay.
I mentioned, we hit the 500, follower count a while ago.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And I mentioned that once we hit 1,000, then I'm going to give away a mask, and not one of the PVC ones, the actual legit one, like I gave you for your birthday last year, the part 5.
Right. Like the one that's on Roy. Back.
Yeah.
There.
Well, yeah, he's back over there, and that's a movie molded mask.
Yeah.
That is, you're not gonna get one more accurate than that. I lied though. I'm not gonna give one of those away when we hit 1,000 followers. I'm gonna do it when we hit 666 followers instead.
Oh, that's a good number. I like that.
Yeah.
So we're not too far away from that.
No. And you know what? I might as well give another one away when we hit 1,000 as well. But let's start it off when we hit 666. We'll give the first one away.
Bill Wolf in New Mexico said it was a balmy 65 there this morning. That sounds cold for New Mexico.
It does. In the morning, though, in the desert, it does get pretty cold. I remember my first time in Las Vegas, man. It was in the 30s in the morning, and that was January.
Well, it looked like we were going to really run over because we didn't even start getting into this until like 30 minutes in, but then we really flowed through. I like the way tonight went. I'm going to go back and listen to it. We'll have it about to win a mask. All right. Well, we're not giving it to the 666 follower, are we?
No.
Are we just going to do a contest after 666? So yeah, you will have a chance to win it.
Everybody that has the page liked, you don't even need to do anything else. Is entered.
Oh, okay. So once you're already a follower, we'll already have them all worked out.
Now, everyone that is a follower is entered, but we will put something else up to where if you enter this other way, you'll get an additional, shot at it. So you see what I'm saying. So if like 50 people enter, it'll be 716 entries, but some people will have 2.
That's cool.
So just to like or share a post or something,
I think I want to say we're at about 546 now.
Something
so
like
we're a little over 100 away. So it's not far. Start inviting your friends, guys, so we can get there. That's the key. We got to keep growing this together.
Yeah, like and share and do whatever you got to do, and just get us there quicker. And it's the quicker somebody, could be anybody listening to this right now, or somebody that doesn't even follow us yet. It could be anyone. The quicker you do that and you get us there, the quicker one of you gets one of those masks.
Awesome. So we're going to wrap this up, man. You got anything else you wanted to add before we get the hell out of here?
Yeah, I like my new toy.
I do fun. Too, man. I really do.
And I'll probably do a little short, maybe cut that in, see how that comes out, see if it actually is a minute. And I'll share the news, too, about the mask, and all that for those that weren't able to actually listen live tonight. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, and I can't wait to see the movie tomorrow. And you know what? Maybe let's review that next week.
That's what we'll do. Look at that. This guy's got a fucking idea. It'll be our first time we've reviewed a new movie in a long, long time.
Just having this in my hands is, giving me ideas.
That's it. So we are going to review In a Violent Nature next week, guys. So go see that this weekend so you're ready for it.
That's right.
We'll try our damnedest to have like DCS does. We'll have like the beginning part spoiler free, and Ryan can have his hand on his. Maybe that doesn't sound right. I was gonna say your hand on your gimmick, but that gimmick, the one in front of you. So that way you could stop me from doing the spoiler by bringing that out.
But I'll only be able to stop you for a minute.
I mean, but like you'll just seen it. It'll be enough to stop me like at that point. And maybe who knows? Yeah. Oh, Rosa, go Monsters! No shit. I got tickets for next Tuesday for their playoff game. So I'm pretty excited about that too. But we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna review In a Violent Nature next week. So go see that.
Yep.
Anything else?
There goes the neighborhood.